Welcome to Live Chat. This is Maths Lab. Today we are going to find an unknown base. So let's see how you can determine an unknown base. Okay, let's take this question. Determine the value of base x if 3, 4, 3 in base x minus 2, 4, 4 in base x equals to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 in base 2. All right. So let's see. First of all, for you to find an unknown base in this question, this is an unknown base. The base of this 343 is x, and the base of 244 is x. But here on the right hand side, the base is not in the standard base, it's in base 2. So the standard base or the acceptable base is base 10. So what we are going to do first is to convert all the numbers to base 10. Is that right? So let's go. If you convert 343 to base 10, that is going to be 3, which is this 3, times, let me not use times, so that 3 times x, which is the base, raised to the power of, this is 2, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0. Why this ones? Okay. So 3 times x raised to the power of 2 plus 4 times x raised to the power of 1, okay, plus 3 times x raised to the power of 0 minus, we put all those ones in bracket, 2 times x also raised to the power of 2 plus 4 times x raised to the power of 1 plus another 4 times x raised to the power of 0. And then we close the bracket. Everything was equals to this. We are also going to convert the right hand side to base 10. Is that right? So let's convert 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 into 6 places to base 2. In base 2 to base 10. So that is equals to this one, 1 times 2 raised to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 raised to the power of 5 plus the next one times 2 raised to the power of 4 plus the next one times 2 raised to the power of 3 plus the next one times 2 raised to the power of 2 plus the next one times 2 raised to the power of 1 plus the last one times 2 raised to the power of 0. You can see that. So, having gone through this process, the next step is for us to simplify the whole of that. So let's start from here. This is x raised to the power of 2, which is x squared. X squared times 3 is 3x squared. This is 4x plus 4x x raised to the power of 0 is 1. And so 1 times 3 is 3. We are done with this place. So we are here now. This is x squared times 2 is plus 2x is 2x squared. Everything that will come out of this bracket will be affected by this sign, by this negative sign. Take note. Most students will make this mistake, but you have to take note of that. Everything that will come out of this bracket will be affected by this sign. Okay, so we are going to have 2x squared, so that will be minus 2x squared minus 4x. This is x raised to the power of 0, which is 1. 1 times 4 is 4, so that will be minus 4. Okay, to be equals to, we are going to this place. 2 raised to the power of 5 is 32 plus 2 raised to the power of 4. That will be 16. Okay. 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. And then 2 raised to the power of 2. That will be 4. Plus 4. And then 2 raised to the power of 1 is 2. So plus 2. And then 2 raised to the power of 0 is 1. That 1 times 1 is 1. Okay. So now let's see. Let's collect like terms here. If you round this up, 3x squared minus 2x squared is just like saying, since this is x squared and this is x squared, so it's just to simplify their coefficients, which is 3 minus 2 is 1. And so that 1 is 1x squared. But we are not going to write 1x squared, we are going to write x squared. So that will be x squared. The next one we are going to go for, this is plus 4x and this is minus 4x. So it's just like saying plus 4 minus 4, or 4 minus 4 is 0. So those places are gone. Okay, you are now left with the constants on the left hand side. This is plus 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Okay, equals to, if you sum 32 plus, okay, let's see, 32 plus 8, 40, 40 plus 16, 56, 56 plus 4, 60, 60 plus 2, 62 plus 1, 63. All right, so this is 63 here. The next thing is just to collect like terms. The next step, you have x squared equals to 63 plus 1. Now, how do we get plus 1? Minus 1 crosses equality sign from the left hand side to the right hand side to become plus 1. Anytime any variable crosses equality sign to any side, the sign changes. Take note of that. So, it therefore means that x squared equals to 64. Okay, so if x squared is 64, let's go to this place. So let me give a note. Take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides, meaning that the square root of x squared equals to the square root of 64. Therefore, x equals to 8. this becomes the answer to that. All right. So x equals to 8. Therefore means that here was x and here was x. And so if you say 343 in base 8 minus 244 in base 8, if you convert it to base 2, you will end up having 11111 in base 2. If you subtract 244 in base 8 from 344 in base 8 and then convert that result to base 2, this is what you will have. So that's the meaning of all of that. That is example 1 of determining an unknown base. Okay, I'm going to go over to example 2. As I told you before, this channel is dedicated to making people develop passion for mathematics. Okay, even if you never used to like math or you're used to hate math, it doesn't matter. We are here to simplify math to its lowest end, just to make you develop passion to learning mathematics. If you as an adult learn mathematics, it will be of advantage to you to teach your own child at home. Okay, so let me clean the board. I believe you can see everything. So I'm going to clean the board now for you to be able to do example 2. So we will go over to example 2. But first, let me clean example 1. I'm going to clean example 1. So if you don't get everything right, maybe if you don't understand example 1, you will understand example 2. Okay, I'm going to example 2 now. So stay with me. Is that right? Let's go over to example 2. We are going to, you are told that example 2, if 23 in base y equals to 1, 1, 1, 1 in base 2. The question is find the value of y. Find the value of y. All right? Wherever you don't understand, hit the comment section and ask any of your questions. All right? Or if you want to arrange for a private class, my number is in the banner of the channel. You can always call me or you chat me up, all right, on WhatsApp. So this one is not going to be that long as the previous example 1. Look at this one. Here is also in base 2. Here is in base y. All of them will be converted to base 10. So the first step is convert all sides to base 10 to base 10. That's the first step, just like we did in the other one. Anytime you are given a number or numbers on both sides with bases rather than base 10, you have to first of all convert them to base 10 before you do anything. So here we bring the question 23 in base y equals to 1111 in base 2. To convert this to base 10, you have 2 multiplied by y raised to power 1 plus 3 multiplied by y raised to power 0. Here is raised to power 1, but it's not advisable to write a number raised to power 1. I'm just writing it for understanding sake. If it were to be me, here, I'm not going to write it. Okay? So just understand that here is y raised to power 1. Just like you want to write maybe y plus y. This is the same thing as 1y plus 1y. Okay? Which will automatically give you 2y. So, in addition of variables or algebraic equation or algebraic numbers, you only add their coefficients. So here the coefficient of y is 1 and here the coefficient of y is 1. Okay? So that's why you have these two. And then y, check the cos. Alright? So that is the left hand side equals to the right hand side. 1 times the base, which is 2 here, raised to the power of, this is 3, 2, 1, and then 0. So this first one is going to be raised to the power of 3, plus the second one will be multiplied by the base, which is 2, and then raised to the power of 2. The third digit, which is 1, is going to be multiplied by the base, and it will be raised to the power of 1. So, as I have told you before, I'm not going to put 1 there, but I will move over to the next one. If I write 3, that is 3 raised to power 1. Without somebody telling you, just understand it that way. Any number that stands on its own is that number raised to the power of 1. Okay? So that is why I'm not writing 2 raised to the power of 1 there. In other previous classes, I put them for understanding's sake. So now we are beginning to get advanced. Alright? So we are going to the last digit, which is 1 times the base raised to the power of 0. Can you see the board now? The next thing is simplify. We have to simplify all of that. 2 times y is 2y. Y raised to the power of 1 is y raised to the power of 0 is 1. And so 1 times 3 is 3. Equality sign comes in. 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4. And 2 raised to the power of 1 is 2. Plus 2 raised to the power of 0. So here 2 raised to the power of 0 is 1. 1 times 1, 1. So we put 1 here. Is that right? The next thing is that we are going to say 2y plus 3 equals 2. Now, 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 2, 14. Plus 1, 15. Okay? So this is 15. Alright? So we are going to collect like terms now. We have, okay, let me just write the statement. Collect like terms. So 2y equals to 15 minus 3. Alright? Or let me write my 15 well so that you will not say you never saw it well. So this is 15 minus 3, which is what? Which is 12. And so, if you divide both sides by 2, okay? So let me write a statement, divide both sides by 2. Let me take that to this side. I believe you can see the board up to that extent. Okay? If you divide both sides by 2, that means 2y equals to 12. And then 2y over 2 equals to 12 over 2. And so 2 cancel itself. You are left with y equals to 12 divided by 2 equals to 6. That becomes the answer. Therefore, y equals to 6. All right. If you put 6 here, 23 in base 6, if you convert it to base 2, you will have 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. And of course, if 2, 3 in base 6 is to be converted to base 2, first of all, you will have to convert that 23 in base 6 to base 10, and then from base 10 to base 2. That is when you will have 1, 1, 1 in base 2. Is that right? I will still tell you or ask you if you don't understand what we are doing, or if you have any challenge at any point, do well to ask your question in the comment section, right? Or you chat me privately with my number in the banner. Thank you. This is example 2. I will go over to example 3. Is that right? So, let me go over to example 3. Example 3. You can observe that every day in each of the topics or subtopic that we pick, I try as much as possible to do up to example 3, so that you never get it right in example 1, can get it right in example 2. And if you never get it right in example 2, you can always get it right in example 3. Is that right? So, we are going for the last example. So, the last example say, example 3, it says if 1y 1 4, if you have 1y 1 4 in base 5 to be equals to 1 8 4 in base 10, you are told to find the value of y. So the question is find